I am really happy to be here at such a grand auditorium and such a nice AIMS campus. My special thanks to Dr. Vibha Datta, Dr. Manishri Geriwal, Dr. Suchita Murli, Dr. Varsha Gavai, and it's a great privilege to be at prestigious AIMS Nagpur. The surrogacy bill has now become an act, and it came into force from December 2021. Before that, before its existence, Rajya Sabha Select Committee gave opinion about surrogacy, which is actually the basis of this act. And I'm going to share with you my experience as a special invitee by Rajya Sabha Committee, and also we'll discuss the evolution of act as it is as on today. The word surrogate has its origin in the Latin term surrogatus, which means a woman acts as a substitute for another woman. So it is very simple. And if you just look at the stand of government on surrogacy, there was a Lok Sabha star question on 4th of December 2015, where government took the stand not to support commercial surrogacy. So the government stand was very clear in 2015 that government is not going to support commercial surrogacy in any way. Now I am going to discuss with you and share with you story of Shubhangi and Rupesh. And please listen to this story very carefully because there are many angles, facets to this story. Shubhangi is a clerk in BSNL and Rupesh, her husband, is lecturer in Science College. They got married and she conceived within a year. She started bleeding at 36 weeks when she was pregnant, and that was abruptio placenta, APH. You all know what is abruption. And the condition was so serious that patient had to undergo obstetric hysterectomy, and the baby also died. So it was a big blow to the couple and to the family. और 2 साल बाद क्या हुआ? 2 साल बाद, 2 years, couple and family was in complete shock. And then Shubhangi's mother asked her daughter-in-law, or I may say ordered her daughter-in-law, Karuna, to help Shubhangi with surrogacy. Karuna had no choice but to go for surrogacy. Surrogacy failed. Then later on, commercial surrogate was hired and she conceived. And now Shubhangi has twin daughters, or she conceived and she had twins, and now she has 2 daughters, twins. Surrogate was a primary teacher. This is a very important point. With 12 years old son, wanted to pursue higher education. So she was also educated from a lower middle class background, wanted to pursue the education of her son. Shubhangi is still in touch with Asha, the name of the surrogate. And Asha is a surrogate who brought Asha Ka Kiran in her life. So see, there are many facets in this story. Situations like APH, obstetric hysterectomy, and uterus is not there and the baby is no more. Then surrogacy, altruistic surrogacy in the close relatives, where daughter-in-law is ordered to go for surrogacy. She failed. Maybe because she was not willing. Then commercial surrogate and her role and the intention of the commercial surrogate. Now, so you can say that there are 2 sides of the story, and every story has got 2 sides. Just look at the surrogacy situation all over the world. Australia, America, England, altruistic surrogacy. Then Brazil, surrogacy only in close relatives. In India, till now, commercial surrogacy was possible. Now it is not possible. Now only altruistic surrogacy. And some situations and countries like European countries where surrogacy is totally banned. So India has joined the group of nations where altruistic surrogacy is allowed, and I think that is a good thing. And a very interesting thing about surrogacy is that surrogacy is a third party reproduction which can involve as many as 5 people. And this is really interesting. The 5 people involved are genetic mother, commissioning mother, surrogate mother, commissioning father, and genetic father. And maybe even husband of a surrogate mother is the 6th person who is indirectly involved. So many people are involved. And why the surrogacy is controversial? Because there are many legal issues related to surrogacy. There are many court cases regarding surrogacy, and there is a very famous Baby Manjik case. A Japanese couple came to India. They delivered, surrogate delivered a baby, and Japanese couple, they disowned that baby because they got divorced. And then his father, a person who wanted to go for surrogacy, his father came and he took the custody of that child after doing adoption. Then there is again a famous case of Baby Jesse case where in fact the couple got divorced and then the surrogate mother claimed the custody of the child because she said that I have brought this baby to this world. Now, this is the journey of surrogacy bill 2016 to 2019. It was for the first time introduced in Lok Sabha in 2016 and it was passed by Lok Sabha in 2019. This surrogacy bill which was passed by Lok Sabha, there are many amendments which have come from time to time. First thing they have done in 2016 was they have stopped and banned cross-border commercial surrogacy. And I think that is a good thing they have done because cross-border surrogacy is something which is creating a problem. In 2019, commercial surrogacy was banned and this was passed by Lok Sabha where they have said that altruistic surrogacy is only allowed and only close relatives can go for surrogacy. So surrogate has to be a close relative. But they have not mentioned what do you mean by close relatives. So there was no mention about close relatives, but only close relatives can go for the surrogacy. Now this bill, when it was passed, there were many objections. And people objected to many things in this surrogacy bill, and that is the reason why Rajya Sabha Select Committee was formed, and it was not passed in Rajya Sabha. So this is the Rajya Sabha Select Committee, which was passed in November, and they tabled the report in February. And Shri Bhupendra Yadav, now he is a minister in Modi's government, he was chairman of this committee, and there were 23 MPs along with Dr. Vikas Mahathme. I received a letter from Rajya Sabha Select Committee secretary inviting me as a speaker for the stakeholders meeting to put my views on surrogacy bill. And I got an opportunity to interact with these people and discussion with these people who are all learned people. As an IVF consultant, I was in favor of compensated surrogacy, not commercial surrogacy. But there were people from Bharatiya Stree Shakti Sangatna, Advocate Meera Khadakkar, we all know she is a very famous popular lady from Nagpur, respectable lady. Dr. Manisha Kotekar, they were also invited, and they were totally against commercial surrogacy, and that was really a good part from on their side. Dr. Arun Gadre is an activist who was also invited, he was against surrogacy. Mr. Vikas Karnik, he runs a surrogacy clinic. He was naturally in favor of surrogacy, and a surrogate was invited, she was also in favor of surrogacy. So I put my points, and these points were actually the opinion of all the committee members, all the FOXI members, and also the medical legal experts. And as we all feel that surrogacy is important, and in some situations it is necessary and it should not be banned. So finally, I'll discuss how the things took shape and how the golden mean was achieved. We will discuss one by one. I will discuss the act, but what is more important is the philosophical angle of the surrogacy. And that is something which I am going to discuss with you today. The first point is ethics of hiring a gestational carrier. In a situation like agenesis of uterus or where the uterus is not there, absent uterus, hiring a uterus is a good option because maybe that is the only option which is available. But if you look at the studies say that still only 26% of the patients they prefer surrogacy against IVF. So many people are really not interested in surrogacy by choice. They have to do it as a compulsion, but they are not interested by choice. This is a point to be noted because there are some people like Karan Johar and Shah Rukh Khan who do surrogacy to be in limelight, right? Their only intention is to be in limelight. And now, with this new act, this is not possible. Thanks to government, because if you already have kids, you cannot go for surrogacy. And if you are a single man cannot go for a surrogacy. A single lady can go for surrogacy, but a single man cannot go for a surrogacy. So that is how no more Karan Johar, no more film stars, only those who are really in need of surrogacy can go for surrogacy. Now, why people have problem with surrogacy? Because there were no guidelines, no fixed pay, no insurance, no bargain for better wages. Government view is that commercial surrogacy is against Indian ethos of life. Selfless Indian women should give services free of charge. Commercial surrogacy is only to earn money and this is against nature. Altruistic surrogacy is the only answer. So that is the government's view. Now another point which is also equally important is reproductive autonomy for a woman. मैं माँ बनना चाहती हूँ और हर किसी महिला को माँ बनने की इच्छा रहती है. And it is her right and you can fulfill this right by the way of surrogacy. So this is one of the ways of fulfilling a surrogacy. And in India, reproductive autonomy is not a private thing. It's a social thing. So many people are involved. Mother-in-law, husband, parents, society, Shezarche, Pazarche, everybody is involved and therefore it's a social problem. And that is why you have to consider this fact also, that it's a reproductive autonomy of a woman and they wish to become a mother. You have to respect to their wish. Another point, commodifying woman versus autonomous decision. Now this is a very difficult question. Is it really commodifying to go for surrogacy? Or surrogate's autonomous decision to use her own body in a manner she feels fit. Women, it is said that women have become a commodity in advertisements and advertising. And you can see this advertisement where the commodifying woman is clearly there on the screen. So many people think that surrogacy is also commodifying. And this is something which is debatable. But I must mention here that please do not compare surrogacy with prostitution. Because prostitutes, they sell their bodies for sexual satisfaction of others, while gestational carriers' aim is to bring child in the world and to bring smile on the faces of infertile couple. It's a noble gesture on the part of a surrogate, therefore there is no reason why anybody should compare it with prostitution. Someone may say that organ cannot be sold and uterus is the organ. So there is one more argument, and in this argument people say that uterus is not being sold, it is simply rented. So seller retains the possession and uses only temporarily. Therefore you cannot say that the organ is sold. It is just used for some time. Now I was actually in favor of, as I said, compensated surrogacy. And why I was in favor of this? Because I personally feel that compensated surrogacy should be allowed and amount should be fixed by the government, which can be reviewed from time to time as a compensation to surrogate mother, and the amount should be directly transferred to the beneficiary. This will automatically reduce the chances of exploitation of the surrogate mother. And I must tell you that all the committee members, they said that we also sometimes feel that this is a good idea and government can have actually agencies which can help in providing surrogates. So, and if you have a fixed pay and fixed remuneration, then this is possible. But then ultimately it was rejected. There is a thin line between commercial surrogacy and compensatory surrogacy. Commercial surrogacy can be classified on the basis of specified intention with which a woman agrees to become a surrogate mother. In case of intentional surrogacy, the intention, if it is to earn money, then it becomes commercial. And if you get it as a compensation, then it becomes a compensatory surrogacy. But there are some teasing questions which come when you talk about the compensation. First is, if you say that surrogacy is the noble act of motherhood, then why do you need compensation? It is not required because it's a noble act. It is ethical. If at all ethical, then how much should be the cost? You cannot actually fix the amount. So, from these questions, the conclusion was no commercial, no compensatory, only altruistic. So, what is altruism? Altruism is a behavior which is selfless and it is intended to help others. It's a forward step to abolish stigma of infertility from the society. It's a social and noble act of the highest level. It's a selfless service, and in a nutshell, it is an unselfish concern for the welfare of the others. And this is exactly what is altruistic or altruism. We were in favor of compensation, but if not compensation, we thought that at least a reasonable amount for loss of wages should be given, right? Because if the surrogate is working and she has to take leave, then surrogate should also be given a reasonable amount of loss of wages during pregnancy if she would have been working during the time of carrying the pregnancy. And this was also rejected, but I think this is something which should be considered. If you are working and if you are doing this noble cause, then at least your compensation from the wages should be given to the surrogate mother. So, monetary compensation is now totally ruled out. It is out of question. ये शेर है, आपके लिए क्या करोगे? तो पैसा कमाने का माध्यम मत सोचिए. The most important point is insurance. Come what may, the surrogate mother must be insured, and that was the point which was really very important. And initially it was 16 months, but Rajya Sabha committee made it 36 months. That means 3 years of compensation. In fact, we requested them to go for life insurance as well. But then they have given 3 years of compensation, and this is a good favorable point for surrogates. And see this statement of the select committee. It is very clear. There is no ambiguity. Insurance means an arrangement by which a company, individual or intending couple undertake to provide a guarantee of the compensation for medical expenses, health issues, specified loss, damage, illness or death of a surrogate mother and such other prescribed expenses incurred on such surrogate mother during the process of surrogacy. So they have included everything. There is no ambiguity. It is so clear that surrogates are protected, at least their life is protected, and that is the best thing to have. Initially, as I told you, they have put a clause of close relatives. Now when you say close relative, surrogate will be watching her baby growing, right? Making interpersonal relationship very complex. And this possibility is always there. And that is the reason why new act says that even egg donor should be unknown. Because if you know the donor, then that donor and that person may have some interpersonal complex relationship. And to avoid that, actually this close relative clause should not be there. And thanks to the committee, they have now removed that point. The close relative point is not there. And especially a problem of coercion. If you have a mother-in-law like Lalita Pawar, then definitely there is a chance of coercion. And in India especially, mother-in-law actually she rules the house, the home, and therefore it becomes really difficult at times. And saas bhi kabhi bahut factor is always there. So you have to think of this, and that is exactly what I told you in the story of Shubhangi, where Shubhangi had this problem because Karuna was forced to go for surrogacy because her mother-in-law ordered her to go for surrogacy. So a willing woman shall act as a surrogate mother and should be permitted to undergo surrogacy procedure as per the provision of this act. Any woman who is willing, and there is no point of close relatives. Is it that surrogacy is exploitation of a lower socio-economical class? A very important and valid point. And we have also put this point. There are many situations where members of lower status work to provide services to higher socio-economic status. काम वाली बाई or a worker in the construction site. They are actually working with the life under risk and they are working for rich. So poor people working for rich is always a problem which also is there with surrogacy. But that is the reason why it is said that surrogacy is definitely exploitation of a weaker sections of the society, and reproductive capacity of a woman cannot be viewed as an economical opportunity. It cannot be looked as a means to earn money. There are many other opportunities which are given by Government of India, many schemes by our beloved Prime Minister which are really good. So Pradhan Mantri Gram Vikas Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Bal Vikas Yojana, so many yojanas are there, and if they really wish to earn money, they should enroll in all these yojanas. Modi hai to mumkin hai. Surrogacy should not be considered as a source of income or of means to earn money. Surrogacy is only for rich, and this is one more argument. And in a way it is true. Only rich can go for surrogacy. Only affording class can go for surrogacy. And now we are in this huge campus of AIIMS with such a nice infrastructure. I personally feel that we need to rise above this class factor. Be it IVF, be it surrogacy, be it IUI or any treatment, government should now consider infertility as a disease and should take this treatment seriously because it is not in their priority list. Maternal mortality is our priority. Population is our priority. Infertility is not our priority. But those who are not having kids, they know the problem they are facing. And therefore it should be given equal importance, and we have to rise above this class level, and everybody, we should make it affordable. Surrogacy, infertility, IVF, every treatment should be made available to everybody. That is very important. A very important point is regarding single woman and a widow. And this is very interesting. Committee is of the opinion that there are some situations where a single person genuinely needs to avail surrogacy option to have a child. One such situation is, suppose a young age widow who is otherwise capable of having children but cannot have child because she is a widow. Divorced lady who doesn't want to remarry but want children is one more such situation. So what they have done now, divorcee and single women can avail surrogacy, and this is a welcome move. But at the same time, single parent men and gay couples are not allowed surrogacy. And I personally feel, I don't know, this is my opinion, that this is also a good and welcome move. Now some good news about surrogacy. Let's look at the various papers and statistics and studies. You will find that the children born out of surrogacy, they do well in school. Most of them, they are informed, but still they do well. Their birth rate is also good, and they get a very good intra-uterine environment. So surrogates, they provide a good environment. So there is no problem as far as the growth, the education and other things are concerned. And there is a study which says that only 1% in India go for altruistic surrogacy, and I think this ratio should now change and more people should go for altruistic surrogacy. There was one more point that you cannot go for surrogacy until 5 years of marriage, and this clause is now removed because it was actually illogical. If you have a patient of MRKH syndrome where the uterus is absent, then why to wait for 5 years? Or if the patient marries late, nowadays late marriage is so common, at the age of 36 or 35, she doesn't want to wait. She wants to go for surrogacy immediately. So these are situations where you cannot wait for 5 years. So this clause is also removed. and this is a victory for us. The age for surrogates is also important. 23 to 50 for the mother of a commissioning couple or a lady who is having infertility is the age. 26 to 55 for a father who is a commissioning couple, and for a surrogate mother 25 to 35. So 23 to 50 for a infertile lady, 26 to 55 for a father, and 25 to 35 for surrogate. Foreign nationals now are not allowed surrogacy, and this is again a good point. But the persons of Indian origin, as they are allowed adoption, they are also allowed surrogacy because they are ultimately Indians, but foreigners cannot go for surrogacy in India. As I told you, age limit for surrogacy is 25 to 35. This is the perfect age limit because this is the time where they can carry. The age is less than 35, so the problem of advanced maternal age is also not there, and therefore 25 to 35 is the perfect age. There are very harsh rules, are very harsh, and the punishments are also very harsh. And we thought that, especially for clerical mistakes, exactly what happened in PCV unity, the same thing is happening in surrogacy and ARTB. At least for unintentional clerical mistakes, government should take some lenient view and they should give warning, and then if this mistake happens again, then they go for a harsh punishment. But the punishment is really harsh, and most of the offences it is 10 years and 10 lakh rupees, and this is really something which is actually worrisome, but government is in no mood to change this. They have said that frozen embryos cannot be used. I think this is something which needs to be changed because now more and more people are going for frozen cycles, and this is a technical point, but fresh transfers are really difficult because you have to match the donor, the surrogate, and matching the dates is difficult. So ideally frozen embryo transfer should be allowed. I think they will come with some amendments and the frozen cycles will be allowed. Adoption is another option for surrogacy, but we all know how difficult nowadays it is to go for adoption. With centralized systems, as this story says, 1,990 kids, 20,000 prospective parents. So there is a mismatch and a long waiting list. Another option is uterine transplant, which is again very complex and the cost is also very high, and it may take some time, but uterine transplant at present is not a good option. There are many opinions regarding surrogacy. Nandita Parashikar, our leader, she has said that surrogacy laws need to be changed but not banned. Surrogacy is soaring in India. Jaideep Malhotra says that it is necessary to regulate this. Kamini Rao also has said that bill is unfair to both the surrogates and people without children. Reshma Pai says that demand for surrogate mother persists. And this is a famous picture from Times of India of Dr. Naina Patel, who is considered as the boss of surrogacy. She has done so many surrogacy patients and she has done some good work also. And this is the famous photograph where all the surrogates are crying and Dr. Naina Patel is sitting with them and they are all crying because they are thinking that now they don't have any future because they are all commercial surrogates. And this is something which is food for thought for everybody. But finally, Select Committee is saying that we are aware that there are many organizations who are demanding blanket ban to surrogacy and few of them they are in favor of commercial surrogacy, but we have to favor a midway which facilitates surrogacy but regulated in a regulated way. And in their own words, hence the other legal aspects attached with the surrogacy lies in the challenge of finding a middle or more perfect path by striking a fine balance between the two squarely opposite ideas, because law is to act both as an ardent defender of human liberty and as an instrument of distributor of positive entitlements. Further, law must keep pace with the emerging developing technologies so that their positive benefits could be availed by those who are really in need. And therefore, committee views that regulation of surrogacy procedure should be done in such a way as to stop exploitation of poor and vulnerable women, to ensure rights of the child born out of surrogacy, to facilitate only needy infidel couple, widow and divorced woman to have a child. So finally, a day arrived, 25th December 2021. At the same time, both the bills, they were introduced and they became act. On 25th December, now Surrogacy Act and ART Act, they are now act and they are introduced on 25th December. 25 दिसंबर से ये एक्ट लागू हो गया है. So it is already there, existing and very much there. So we have started registration process now, and this registration is online. For ART clinic level 1, where you can do IUI, 50,000 rupees is the fee. For IVF clinic, 2 lakhs rupees is the fee. For ART bank, which can supply oocytes and sperms, the fee is 50,000 rupees. And for surrogacy clinic, the fee is 2 lakh rupees. So these are the charges. And this is the latest dashboard. I took this photograph 2 days before, but today morning you can see there are more registrations. 2085 for ART clinic, 429 registrations for ART bank, and 495 registrations already in India for surrogacy clinics. So already so many people have applied for surrogacy clinics and ART clinics. And then came the notification which came on 21st of June for Surrogacy Act, and they have framed the rules and regulations for surrogacy. And here, surrogacy clinic has to be registered. You have to register online. You have to pay and give the application to the appropriate authority at district level or at corporation level, depending on where you stay. Only altruistic surrogacy is allowed. No advertisement, no exchange of money, not in cash, not in kind. Abortion, yes, you may go for abortion if it is required as per provisions of MTP Act. But you have to take consent of appropriate authority before going for abortion. Very important. And of course, Varsha has just now spoken about PCPNDT Act. There is no question, and in fact this is the biggest offense if you go for sex selection in surrogacy. Many people have this myth that IVF is done for sex selection. But actually speaking, there is no way you can select sex in IVF unless you have particular gadgets for sex selection. So this is a myth that IVF is done for sex selection, and the government is very clear, no sex selection as far as surrogacy and IVF is concerned. There is a central board, there is a state board, and there is an appropriate authority. The structure is same as PCPNDT Act. It is same. The members are also same. And then there is a national ART and surrogacy registry where all the surrogacy clinics will be registered. Then you require a staff for surrogacy clinic, which is 1 gynecologist at least, 1 anesthetist, 1 embryologist, a counselor, director, and andrologist if required. Andrologist can be part-time. This is the list of instruments and equipments which you should have. Then, if you just go as the procedure goes, you have to first decide whether you want to go for surrogacy. The couple decides to go for surrogacy. Surrogacy should be only for purpose. Anybody cannot go for surrogacy unless it is indicated. Then intending couple will go to the board and obtain a certificate of recommendation from a board. Then medical certificate will be given by this board, which is consisting of a gynecologist and a pediatrician. Then they will find out a surrogate who is willing, who is fulfilling all the criteria. Then they will give insurance of 36 months. They are supposed to take care of surrogate, and they have to make an affidavit in front of magistrate stating that we will take care of surrogate during this period of surrogacy. And then this couple has to give application to the magistrate. They have to give insurance, but they have not mentioned about the amount of insurance, but they have said that insurance will be sufficient enough to cover all the expenses, but the amount is not mentioned. And this is very important. The intending couple woman shall sign an affidavit to be sworn before a metropolitan magistrate of the first class, giving guarantee that they are going to take care of this surrogate. As I told you, the age limit is 23 to 50 for a mother, 26 to 55 for a father. No child or child with mental or physical handicap. So there should be no, either there is no child, they don't have child, or if they have children or child, that child should be mentally handicapped, and you have to get a certificate from the appropriate authority that you can go for surrogacy. Widow or divorced woman, the age is between 35 to 45 years. Then surrogate should be married. Surrogate has to be a married woman with having a child of her own, age 25 to 35 years. So married woman with a child of her own between 25 to 35 years can only go for surrogacy. They can become a surrogate mother. They should be willing to help without any monetary compensation. They cannot use their own gametes. The gametes has to be from the commissioning couple, mother, or from some other person. They can give consent and withdraw the consent any time before embryo transfer. So just a day before embryo transfer or at the time of embryo transfer, they feel that I don't want to go for surrogacy, they are free to withdraw their consent anytime just before embryo transfer. And you are supposed to transfer only one embryo as far as possible, and maximum 3 embryos in some special situations. And a surrogate can do surrogacy only once in her lifetime, only once, and maximum she can have 3 chances. So 3 chances or 3 cycles, but for the same couple, and only once in lifetime. So this is very clear. A very important point is baby born out of surrogacy. If that baby is mentally retarded or handicapped or is having Down syndrome or some other problem, commissioning couple cannot abandon that child. Very clear. So you cannot just say that हमको तो पता नहीं था इसको Down syndrome निकला अब हम इसको नहीं रख सकते. No way, you cannot abandon the child. And as I told you, punishment 10 years and 10 lakhs, and the offence under this act shall be cognizable, non-bailable, and non-compoundable. Forensic experts are there, so you know the severity of this punishment. And हमने अभी तक 20 साल बाद ये फिल्म का नाम सुना था. अभी ये जो सरोगेसी की फिल्म है ये 25 साल बाद वाली फिल्म आने वाली है. You are supposed to keep records for 25 years. 25 years. And if there is any criminal proceeding, then you have to keep it for a longer duration, depending on the situation. So 25 years is a long period. But then you have to maintain those records for 25 years because the baby born out of surrogacy, when he becomes 25-year-old, he may have any problem, he may do inquiry or whatever. So that's the reason why they have kept it 25 years. And these are the forms which are there. I did not go into details of these forms. And this is the flow chart of how to go ahead with surrogacy. Couple and surrogate go to clinic which is registered. Then couple eligibility is tested. Then surrogacy eligibility is tested. Then insurance is given. Affidavit is made. Then the process starts. Then an application by couple and mother to district magistrate, order is passed by them, and this becomes the birth affidavit. So finally, the district magistrate passes the order, and this order becomes the birth affidavit of the patient, of the baby. So my dear friends, after a closer look at all the points that we have already discussed, it is clear that practice of surrogacy is ethically justifiable. Government has taken it as an opportunity to regulate the bill. Banning does not help. It is needed technology for infertile couple, and the aim is to safeguard and to protect surrogate and these safeguards to protect surrogates must be in place. So, finally, I would end my talk by saying this famous song of Raj Kapoor, किसी की मुस्कुराहटों पे हो निसार, किसी की मुस्कुराहटों पे हो निसार, किसी का दर्द मिल सके तो ले उधार, किसी के वास्ते हो तेरे दिल में प्यार, जीना इसी का नाम है. This is what is surrogacy for all of us as on today. Thank you very much for patiently listening. Thank you. And thank you, James, for giving me this opportunity, wonderful